focus on previous year questions, focus on fixed materials that make a daily goal. Do not make a goal that you are going to complete in 1 week or 10 days or 15 days. Make a daily goal. That Abhyaas can be a great tool to uh, realize that how much we have actually completed. So integrating that current affairs part with basic knowledge, that is also very important.
Hello, aspirants, and welcome to our conversation series with the esteemed faculty members of VisionIAS. In this video series, we are discussing effective strategies for clearing prelims examination of 2024. Today, we have our Science and Technology faculty, Mr. Abhishek Kumar sir, with us. A very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Paritosh.
So, prelims examination is scheduled on 16th of June 2024. With almost 2 months left for the examination, student in this particular phase faces a lot of challenges. Can you share what exactly are the challenges which students face in this particular moment?
I think I can highlight few challenges. The very first and one of the most important challenges will be that students often feel overwhelmed because of the vastness of the syllabus. There are so many things to study, so many things to revise, and that feeling that you are leaving something out, something important you did not revise, and that feeling can make you overwhelmed, and that can in fact hamper your preparation. So that is one very important challenge, particularly in the last phase of your preparation, just before prelims students face. The second challenge I will highlight is FOMO. Now, FOMO we use generally for teenagers, but in this particular case, even aspirants face this fear of missing out. But in this particular case, they have this fear of missing out of something, some material which is available in the market, and they did not read it. So, because there is no dearth of material, there is no dearth of resources right now. And often students feel that my peer group and my friends, they are studying something else, I did not. And that can also further accentuate that feeling of overwhelmed. Third, I think that always that challenge is between that depth, which we call quality, and the coverage, which we call quantity. So that finding that balance, right balance between the depth and coverage of the syllabus, that can be a challenge. And without a doubt, in all of that, with all of that mental and physical stress, time management can be a huge issue. That how to manage static part, how to manage current affairs part. So I think these are some of the most important challenges an aspirants faces in last months of the preparation.
Certainly, very practical challenges, sir. So, given your vast experience in helping students in successfully clearing the examination, can you share some strategies with our students in order to overcome the challenges which you discussed with us?
Yeah, sure. So the first challenge which I talked about, that feeling of overwhelmness. Remember that that is natural part of the preparation. You are not the only one. But if that overwhelmed feeling is in any way hampering your preparation, then you have to relook at your strategy itself. So the first thing what you need to do is that forget about the vastness of the syllabus. So you should make perhaps a daily plan rather than thinking of completing the entire syllabus together. Just focus on what I'm going to do today and make it a realistic plan and complete that only. So, and you'll realize that things are automatically falling in place. So that is something which you need to do. Do not go after too many resources. That's very, very important thing to do. That always remember, this examination is about your knowledge, but it is also about your aptitude. That in examination hall, how you go and attempt those 100 questions with the right temperament. And yes, your knowledge will definitely help you, but that aptitude will also help you a lot. And that will come from that you understand the topic properly. You do not have to run after too many resources, too many mock tests. Focus on previous year questions, focus on fixed materials, quality materials which already have been proven in past by, for example, previous year toppers. And focus on those things, and they will help you a lot in examination.
I'm sure these strategies will help our students. Sir, effectively, how to manage time in the coming 2 months?
Okay, so I often say this in my class also to students. I will paraphrase this quote by Bill Gates. Bill Gates has a very famous quote that we often we overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in an year. Now, in this particular case, it will not be a year, but I do think that we overestimate what we can do in a day and we underestimate what we can achieve in next 2 months. So the first thing what you need to do in terms of time management, as I said earlier, that make a daily goal. Do not make a goal that you are going to complete in 1 week or 10 days or 15 days. Make a daily goal. You know the significance of the topics. You have seen previous year questions. You know which are the important areas asked by UPSC. For example, think about polity or economy or environment. Sections which are very important, also much attemptable. Most of the questions are attemptable. So you know the importance of topics, and accordingly you are making realistic plans. You are dividing your entire day into specific time blocks. By the way, at the same time, make it flexible. Do not make it very rigid structure. Make it flexible, but a structured time management, which, for example, in morning you are, let's say, attempting you are revising your static part. In the afternoon you are focusing on the current affairs part. In the evening you are either attempting few mock papers, few previous year questions, or in general you're revising whatever you have studied in the morning and afternoon. So make flexible but structured timeline, realistic timeline, but complete that. That is why I am emphasizing upon the word realistic timeline, that whatever you know what you can do in one day, and you just have to complete that 1 day target, and do that for every day, and you will realize that things are falling in place. After a week, now make a revision, whatever notes you have made from, let's say, newspaper or from some material. Then after a week you are doing a quick revision of those things. I will also highlight, in the last months of revision, I will also highlight few of the one of the techniques which is actually proven to be quite effective in revising things. There is a technique called Pomodoro technique. So in Pomodoro technique, what you do is that you study for some time and you take a break. So taking that regular break is very important. So for example, you study for 25 minutes, but then for 5 minutes you definitely are going to take a break. Then again for 25 minutes, and then 5 minutes break. And once 2 hours are completed, then you can take half an hour break. There are so many apps available on Play Store or on App Store. For example, one of the app which I can recommend is Focus To Do. That's a beautiful app which will help you in ensuring that you are studying and then you are also taking a break. So focus on that part.
So thank you for devising a very strategic time plan for our students. So now coming to current affairs, students also struggle a lot regarding where to cover, how to cover, and how much to cover. Any specific plan for the coming 60 days for our students?
Okay, so choosing the right material is very important. I always recommend students that your primary source of current affairs should be newspaper, and which you are reading all by yourself. Everything else is complementary, everything else is secondary. So the best resource will be that you are making notes in your own words, in bullet points, uh, reading from the Hindu or Indian Express or government announcements from PIB. If you have not been able to do that, then also fine, there are some really good resources available. For example, a lot of students refer to monthly current affairs magazine released by VisionIAS, along with daily news analysis and weekly focuses also. So if you have been covering monthly current affairs magazine, I think that is a very important part of your strategy. Another thing which you can do is that from that monthly current affairs magazine itself, a final compilation occurs, which I am very sure that all aspirants know about, is PT 365. So, but PT 365 is essentially a compilation of the previous 1 year magazines. But that nonetheless, it can help you a lot in quickly revising things from prelims perspective. So, choosing the right material, right resource, and sticking to that is very important. Second part, that you are integrating current affairs with static things, and in a lot of areas it will not be important. For example, let's say there is an international event happening, that is pure and pure current affairs. You do not have to integrate that with some static part unless there is some historical background to a particular issue. But in lot of areas, for example, think of environment or think of economy, that there is a very important news from economy, and you have to integrate that with basic concept of economy. Same is also true of environment. For example, let's say recently COP of Minamata Convention happened. So along with whatever was discussed in recent COP of Minamata Convention, you also know about the Minamata Convention altogether, that what it is all about. So integrating that current affairs part with basic knowledge, that is also very important. Third, from time to time attempting some mock papers, that will be very helpful. That can help you in 2-3 ways. if, let's say, for example, some knowledge gap is left, you can fulfill that knowledge gap with that current affairs, and you also get to check your strengths and weaknesses with the help of those mock tests.
Sir, as you told about mock test, apart from reading and revising, practicing a lot of questions is one of the success mantras for clearing prelims examination. Students go for a lot of mock tests. There's a very good buzz around the word Abhyaas Prelims. Can you share, sir, what exactly is Abhyaas Prelims examination of 2024?
Yeah, definitely. So for last few years now, VisionIAS has been organizing Abhyaas, which is real exam simulation of prelims, as well as it happens for men's examination also. But let's focus on prelims here. So in many cities all across our country, VisionIAS organizes Abhyaas, where students are given admit card. They get to attempt papers in 2 sittings, the same way UPSC does. You have a comprehensive coverage of the syllabus. So for example, this year across next month, we have 3 tests planned, and those 3 tests will be organized into multiple cities across India. And students can go and check their preparation. They can, for example, there are a lot of benefits of attempting such papers. You first get a comprehensive coverage of the syllabus. You get a real experience or real simulating experience of actual examination which is going to happen. You get an instant feedback also. For example, once you attempt the paper, the very next day results will be announced that will tell you in which areas you have done well, in which areas perhaps not so. So as I said earlier, that we have to recognize our strength and weaknesses. So Abhyaas can help you in that also. You also get support from VisionIAS. So if you do want any support, you can definitely contact the organization regarding your preparation. So there are multiple benefits. And yes, you are absolutely right that we should definitely go for mock tests, and nothing can be better than Abhyaas here.
Sir, any specific strategy to integrate Abhyaas Prelims along with the ongoing preparation of our students?
Okay, so again, continuing on my previous point, that Abhyaas can be a great tool to realize that how much we have actually completed and which areas we should perhaps focus on more, and particularly think of areas which are attemptable. And UPSC also focuses upon those areas a lot. For example, let's say there are 15 questions from polity, about 18 to 19 questions from environment. Economy, there are 15 questions. You have science and technology, there are 10 to 12 questions from science and technology. Areas which are not that much factual, areas where you have a lot of concepts involved, a lot of analysis involved. So you get to check your preparation. That, and you also get to check, for example, you have done your own current affairs preparation. Can you attempt questions which are being asked in Abhyaas test? And if, let's say, for example, you are facing a lot of difficulty, then it will help you in identifying that particular weak area, and accordingly you can go and focus upon that area. So how we can integrate it together? So for example, there are 3 mock tests, as I said, and use these 3 mock tests to become better. Check your progress, that for example, in the first mock test, let's say you did well, but now your target is that in next mock test I have to do even better, and then finally you have to do even better in the third test. And you accordingly, you in fact you can plan your preparation according to those 3 tests which has been scheduled by VisionIAS.
So can you guide our students regarding any important themes they should specifically focus for this year prelims examination as far as science and technology is concerned?
Okay, so yes, I can. I do think that there are some topics, although I'm not saying that guessing, I feel like that in UPSC prelims, guessing is not always a good thing, but nonetheless, I can definitely highlight some of the important areas. So I can divide science and technology into specific subtopics. For example, let's say space technology. So I do think that few areas where students should focus upon, definitely read a lot about Aditya L1 mission and some factual details about mission, as well as what are its objectives. For example, it aims to know about sun. So a lot of phenomena associated with sun, try to know about that also. We should also, the second topic I can talk about from space technology is ExpoSat mission, a very unique mission launched by ISRO, was not covered that much, but nonetheless, I think it's an important topic. Chandrayaan 3, there was a question in mains, but nonetheless, I do think that still it is an important topic. Prime Minister has talked about space station for India. So space station becomes an important theme. If I talk about some global missions, then some of the missions of NASA I would highlight. PACE mission is very interesting. OSIRIS-REx mission, I think, was very ambitious, which students should know more about. Webb telescope, James Webb Space Telescope, which UPSC did ask a question in mains, but there has not been a dedicated question in prelims examination. So that is also an important topic. Artemis mission is an important topic. Coming to nuclear technology, I think in this year's prelims, I think nuclear technology is also very important. Particularly two themes I want to highlight. So on one very important news just few months ago was that India has now entered into second stage with our fast breeder reactor, the three-stage nuclear program. So definitely know more about three-stage nuclear program as well as fast breeder reactor. And the second topic I would highlight is definitely know about nuclear fusion in more detail, that what is fusion and what is India doing in the field of fusion. In biotechnology, few areas I can highlight is Genome India project by Department of Biotechnology, where our goal is do complete genome sequencing of Indians. And so in this topic, about this project as well as about genome sequencing, what it is all about. Second, CSIR had started a project on epigenetics, so we should know more about epigenetics, I think. CRISPR-Cas9 will remain our evergreen topic. In general, gene therapy, gene editing will be important for UPSC examination. But CRISPR-Cas9 and associated topic with that from health, if I can say a few topics from health, sickle cell anemia is an important topic for this year prelims. For multiple reasons, government has a dedicated mission to eliminate sickle cell anemia, but at the same time, US has approved CRISPR-Cas9 based treatment for sickle cell anemia, and I think that is why that is an important topic. If I have to talk few topics from ICT, then AI will be a very, very important topic. So particularly know about generative AI in detail, know about large language models, know about deepfakes, know about all of the recent AI tools which are available at our disposal, and some of the tools which are not available for public at large, but nonetheless they have been announced, things like Sora. Then some topics, blockchain technology always will remain important. Quantum technologies, things like quantum computing or quantum key distribution. These are some important topics. I haven't seen any questions from 5G also. So I think 5G also is an important topic from information and communication technology. Few topics from defense, if I have to highlight. Lot of ships and submarines have become very active. If you must have seen the news, particularly in Indian Ocean, all of the piracy activity and the entire geopolitical conflict which is going on. So Indian Ocean has been very active, and Indian Navy has been very active in tackling a lot of piracy. So I think knowing about our ships and submarines. And one very important news, although there was a question last year also on Agni 5 missile, but this year we have achieved MIRV capability. So we should know more about MIRV capability. In green technologies, environment friendly technologies, if I have to talk about few things, some of the topics will always remain evergreen. Solar energy, wind energy. Last year there were two questions from green hydrogen, but again hydrogen as a source of energy will remain an important topic for this year examination also. Any area I'm missing?
No, sir. Very comprehensively covered. Right. Sir, apart from the academic issues which we discussed right now, students at psychological level also goes through a lot of stress and anxiety in this particular coming few months of before prelims examination. How effectively to manage the mental health in the coming 2 months?
I actually do have few suggestions. The first thing I want students to take care of is their sleep pattern. Sleep pattern is very, very important. Taking adequate sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep is very, very important. And ideally, taking 7 to 8 hours of sleep during night is very important. So now that examination is so close by, I want all of the aspirants that change your sleep pattern, particularly if I have the habit of sleeping till late, then I want you to change that pattern. Start sleeping at max 11 or 12 in the night, at max 11, 12, not late than that. Take 8 hours of sleep. And by the way, adjusting to this is very important, because in examination, having a good sleep will help you a lot in both paper 1, but particularly in paper 2. People often talk about paper 1 a lot, but they're forgetting that paper 2, CSAT paper 2 has become quite challenging. And there you need refreshed mind to solve questions of aptitude and logical reasoning. So sleep is one thing which I will definitely highlight. Second, simple exercise. Simple jogging, for example, you can do 10 minutes and 15 minutes of jogging early in the morning. That can help you a lot. But any time during day, ideally there should be some gap between your meal and exercise. So any time during day, but most important, if you can do that early in the morning, that will help you a lot. Third, Even 4 to 5 minutes of meditation can be very helpful. I can suggest one more app here. There is a beautiful app called Atom, simply Atom. And that app has this guided meditation program for 2, 3, 4 minutes. That will help you a lot. Fourth, having a support group. So some students, what they think is that we are going to isolate ourselves. Don't isolate yourself. Having a support group, like-minded people who you can trust. So for example, being in regular contact with family members and regular contact with some of your close friends, that is very, very important. That what is happening in your life, you get to know about what is happening in their life. That will be very important. So do not isolate yourself from your support group. At the same time, it should be very clear that this support group should not in any way, or if you are hanging out unnecessarily outside UPSC requirement, that may not be very healthy. But nonetheless, maintaining a support group is very, very important. And remember that this feeling of overwhelmness, this stress, is every student suffer from it. But those who respond to it in an emotionally intelligent manner, they achieve greatness. We have to remember that.
Definitely very practical suggestions you talked about. Sir, any last moment motivation tip for our students?
I have few words. Feeling overwhelmed, going through mental stress. It may be challenging, but remember that every mock test you attempt, every material you study, every revision you do, that is what makes you a better aspirant. But I also think that is what makes you a better person. That you are going through challenges. That is not what defines you. What defines you is how you respond to those challenges. Are you not getting sidetracked? Are you focusing on your target? Are you doing what is expected out of you? If you are doing that, then I think you are doing fine.
Thank you, sir, for guiding our students very comprehensively. Now, aspirants, it's your chance to inculcate the tips and strategies shared by sir in your upcoming prelims examination strategy. Go, register and write Abhyaas Prelims Examination of 2024. Lastly, all the very best to all the students who will be appearing in this year prelims examination. Thank you.